of Salford has always had the closest links with the manufacturing industries of the region. Cotton manufacture has especially been associated with the twin cities of Manchester and Salford. We took a trip to the Museum of Science and Industry to speak with Hurd about this important part of our heritage.
The working conditions were quite bad. Very noisy, very dusty. I mean, they did supply you with hearing protection, but it was sort of basic hearing protection. You weren't forced to wear it. Your ears would ring when you came out of the factory. Your ears would still be ringing. It did affect my hearing. The first factory I worked in, there was no canteen facilities, so you ate your lunch sitting on the floor at the side of your machinery, so you'd take the cotton off the top of your cup of tea before you drank it. So if anything happened on your machine, say a lot of the threads broke, you couldn't sit there and finish your lunch. You'd have to leave your lunch, get up and tend to your machine, because the machines didn't stop. They were like one big community. What tended to happen with the factories were you would have entire families working in a factory, mother, father, kids, and when the factory closed down, entire families went out to work. Manchester Mills demonstration explains to people what happened in the mills of Manchester. Metal rod through the centre, and we make one of these. We do try also to bring in the history of why this happened in Manchester and some of the living conditions and the working conditions of the people in the very first mills. Because the atmosphere in that room would have been full of cotton fibre. I think it's good for children to come here. They take away a new way of looking at everyday things that they take for granted. You know, you think nothing of picking up a towel and wiping your face or wiping your hands with it, but when you realise what goes into making that towel and an appreciation of the people who worked in the factories, the terrible conditions they worked in, if you like, the pioneers, because it's the cotton industry really that made Manchester the city it is today.